All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever sent off a resume and felt like it just vanished into a black hole? Yeah, you are not alone. Today, we're going to look at a totally different way to think about getting a job, a way where you stop being just an applicant and start being an architect.
This right here, this sentence, it gets to the absolute heart of the problem. You see, a simple list of your past jobs doesn't tell a hiring manager how you're going to solve their specific problems. They're not just reading, they're searching. They're looking for a story, for someone's experience all adds up to a clear solution for them.
So that's the big question, right? How do you actually do that? How do you take that list of experiences and transform it into a story so compelling that an employer immediately sees you as the answer they've been searching for? Well, that is exactly what we are about to break down. Okay, first things first, we need to understand why the old way of doing things just isn't cutting it anymore. Let's take a little trip to what I call the resume graveyard. It's where all those applications go because they just failed to make a real human connection. Look, just listing your skills and what you did at your last job, that's the bare minimum. It's what everybody does. If you really, truly want to stand out, you have to stop just presenting a list of facts and start connecting them. You have to build a story that shows there's a purpose and a clear path behind what you've done. And this is where we flip the script. This is the big mindset shift. You are no longer just a passive applicant firing off resumes and hoping for the best. No, from now on, you are actively taking control. It's time to become the narrative architect of your career. So, what in the world is a narrative architect? Well, think of it like this. It's someone who intentionally connects the dots for the reader. You look at your whole career, the projects, the wins, the skills you've picked up, and you build a story that is a direct answer to what that employer needs. You don't make them guess, you hand them the solution. And to do that, you need these 4 key skills. You need to know how to build a story, that's narrative construction. You have to know who you're talking to, that's audience awareness. You've got to sift through all your experience and pick out the most important parts, that's synthesis. And finally, you have to be your own toughest critic and know what to cut, that's revision judgment. This isn't about making stuff up, it's about being a master builder. Now, here's the good news. You do not have to do this all from scratch. We've got amazing tools that can help us draft and structure our ideas way faster. So let's walk through a super practical AI-powered toolkit that can help you build your story. The whole workflow breaks down into 3 pretty logical steps. First, we're going to make sense of your resume. Then we use that to build the story, the logic of your cover letter. And finally, we polish that into the verbal narrative. The story you'll actually tell someone in an interview. Each step is like a building block for the next. And this table really lays it all out. Just look at the skill focus for each step. For the resume, it's all about framing. For the cover letter, it's about narrative alignment. And for the verbal part, it's concise storytelling. So for framing, that's the difference between saying I answered customer calls and reframing it as I managed a portfolio of over 100 client relationships, boosting satisfaction scores by 15%. See that? One is a chore, the other is a story about your impact. And the best part, in just a couple of hours, you can create a powerful, consistent story across all 3 of these. Okay, I need you to listen closely now, because this is without a doubt the most important part of this whole process. AI can help you draft, sure, but it can never, ever give you meaning. Your insight, your voice, your judgment, that's what makes a story real. You are the essential human in the loop. So let's be super clear about this division of labor. AI is an amazing assistant. It helps you draft, it can structure your thoughts, it gives you options, but you are the boss. You are the one who provides the meaning, who owns the voice, and who makes every single final call. The AI provides the clay, but you are the sculptor. So as you're using these tools, you have to constantly put on your editor hat, step back, and ask yourself, okay, what's the actual story that's taking shape here? Does it make sense? And maybe even more important, be brutally honest. What part of this feels fake? What feels forced? If you read a sentence and it doesn't sound like something you would actually say, that's your gut telling you it's time to revise. And at the end of it all, I want you to look back and see your own fingerprints on the work. Where did you push back against what the AI suggested? How did your choices shape this thing into a final product that is 100% authentically you? This is the first principle you have to remember. The drafts were just a starting point. They were assisted, but the meaning, the soul of the application, the thing that makes it resonate, that is all you. And that leads to the second, non-negotiable, absolute rule of the road. The second you hit that send button, you are taking full and complete ownership of every single word. The assistance is over. Your accountability begins. So let's wrap up with this final thought. This process isn't about inventing some new version of yourself. It's not about making things up. The skills, the experiences, the value you bring, that's all already there. Your story already exists. So the only real question is, are you ready to be its architect and finally tell it?